The evening sky over Chicago was heavy with dark clouds, as if the city itself was holding its breath. Cold rain poured relentlessly, drumming against glass windows and metal roofs, washing away the noise of traffic and the glitter of skyscrapers. People hurried across the streets, their umbrellas tilted against the wind, their faces tired and distant. Inside a small neighborhood grocery store, warm yellow lights flickered softly. The store wasn't fancy, just narrow aisles, old shelves, and a tired cashier who had seen too many long days. Near the entrance stood a tall man in a perfectly tailored black suit. His name was Ethan Carter. To the world, he was a powerful tech CEO, a billionaire who had built an empire through discipline and iron-willed habits. To his employees, he was strict. To the media, he was brilliant. To his young daughter at home, he was a quiet, distant father who rarely smiled. Every day, Ethan followed the same routine like a machine. Work late, stop at the same grocery store, buy the same food, drive home in silence. He believed habits were the secret to success. Emotions, he thought, were distractions. But tonight, something disrupted his routine. Near the checkout counter, Ethan noticed a small figure standing awkwardly beside the candy rack. A boy, thin, pale, nervous. The boy held a plastic basket with only a few items, a loaf of bread, a carton of milk, instant soup, and a small bottle of cheap medicine. His fingers were cold and red as he counted coins again and again, whispering numbers under his breath. The cashier sighed loudly. "Come on, kid," she said impatiently. "If you don't have enough money, I can't sell this." The boy lowered his head. I'm trying," he murmured. His hands shook as he poured coins onto the counter. They rolled in every direction, some falling to the floor. People in line watched silently. Some looked away, some felt uncomfortable. No one stepped forward. Ethan observed everything from a distance. He told himself it wasn't his problem. He had learned not to get involved. That was his habit. The cashier began removing items from the basket, first the medicine, then the soup. Suddenly, the boy stepped forward. His voice was soft, but it cut through the store like a knife. Please don't take our food." The cashier froze. The entire store went quiet. The boy looked up, his eyes shining with tears he refused to let fall. "My mom is sick," he said slowly, struggling to keep his voice steady. "She hasn't eaten since yesterday. The doctor said she needs medicine. If I go home without this, she'll be scared." His words were simple, but they carried the weight of a life far too heavy for a child. For a moment, Ethan felt something inside him crack. He remembered his own childhood apartment, the sound of an empty refrigerator, his mother pretending she wasn't hungry so he could eat. He clenched his jaw. He had buried those memories under years of success. But now, they were alive again. Without saying a word, Ethan stepped forward. He placed his card on the counter. "I'll pay," he said quietly. The cashier looked surprised but nodded. The boy turned toward Ethan, his eyes wide. "Thank you, sir," he whispered. "I'll pay you back someday. I promise." Ethan didn't reply. As the boy ran out into the rain, clutching the bag tightly to his chest, Ethan stood there in silence. For the first time in years, his perfect routine felt wrong. And somewhere deep in his heart, a new habit was about to begin. The next night, Ethan Carter stood across the street from the same grocery store. But this time, he wasn't there for food. He was waiting. He didn't understand why the boy's voice had stayed in his mind all day. "Please don't take our food." Those words had followed him into meetings, into his luxury office, even into the silence of his mansion. For the first time in years, his habits felt empty. Then he saw him. The boy walked slowly toward the store, his shoulders bent under an invisible weight. He looked even thinner than yesterday. Ethan stepped forward. "Hey," he said softly. The boy turned around instantly, fear flashing in his eyes. When he recognized Ethan, his face changed. "It's you," he said quietly. "Yes," Ethan replied. "What's your name?" "Lucas." Ethan nodded. "Did your mom like the food?" Lucas hesitated. Then his voice dropped. "She tried to smile," he said. "But she was very tired." Something tightened in Ethan's chest. "Take me to her," Ethan said suddenly. Lucas froze. "Why?" he asked carefully. "Because," Ethan said after a pause, "I want to make sure she's okay." Lucas looked at the ground for a long moment. Then he nodded. "Okay." The shocking reality. 10 minutes later, Ethan stood in front of a broken apartment building. Paint peeled from the walls. Windows were cracked. The hallway smelled of damp air and old medicine. "This is our home," Lucas whispered. Inside the small apartment, the lights were dim. On an old mattress lay a woman with pale skin and tired eyes. When she saw Ethan, she tried to sit up. Please don't stand, Ethan said gently. Lucas ran to her side and held her hand. This is the man who helped us, he said. The woman looked at Ethan with weak eyes. Thank you, she whispered. Ethan looked around the room. There was almost nothing. No TV, no furniture, no luxury, only love and pain. Suddenly, Lucas spoke again. Sir, he said quietly. Yes, Lucas swallowed hard. My mom wasn't always poor. Ethan looked at him in surprise. What do you mean? Lucas hesitated, then said the words that shocked Ethan to his core. She used to work for a big company. Ethan's heart skipped. What company? Lucas looked straight at him. Carter Technologies. The air froze. Ethan felt the world stop. That was his company. His hand slowly clenched. The woman turned her face away, ashamed. She lost her job when she got sick, Lucas continued softly. They said she was too weak to work anymore. Ethan couldn't breathe. He remembered signing hundreds of documents without reading names. Layoffs, budget cuts, efficiency, profit, habits, and suddenly, he understood something terrifying. He was part of the reason this family was suffering. Lucas looked at him with innocent eyes. My mom says you're a good man, he said. She says rich people don't know how poor people live. The words hit Ethan like lightning. For the first time in his life, he felt ashamed of his success. He knelt beside the woman. I'm sorry, he whispered. The woman looked confused. For what? She asked. For not seeing you, Ethan said. Tears filled Lucas's eyes. That night, Ethan made a decision that changed everything. He didn't just help them. He changed his life. He changed his company. He changed his habits. Because he realized something. Success without humanity is the biggest failure.